I'll just stand up here and let you come and sing to me. How's that? That was beautiful. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me back. I'm so excited to be here. One of the things that I love, Ingrid contacted me and she said, okay, we got these dates. Okay, these are going to work. Okay, this is what we're going to do now. I need titles of your talk. This is 6 months ago. I'm just kind of sitting there going like, okay, let's do this one. Freedom, sure, that'll work. And then you have to create what it is that seems to resonate at that moment. And it's amazing every time, whatever that title is, it ends up being what it's supposed to be. And so my talk today is about freedom. But, you know, I get caught up in that freedom of 4th of July and the United States and all that stuff. And I'm going to leave that to some others. I'm going to go a little bit deeper in the freedom of one another and ourselves. And how much freedom we really do have. And the realization of no matter how much knowledge I have and how much work I've done on myself, how sometimes I don't allow myself that freedom, no matter what I do. You know what I'm saying? Anybody think they're completely free today? I mean, totally, completely. Oh, I'm in the right place. Okay, I don't feel so bad. So one of the things that I like to say every time I come to speak, anywhere that I speak, because it's very important, is that anytime I get up here, I'm speaking to you truly, but it's also me learning a lesson as well. I have no right to be up here speaking to you if I'm not willing to do the work that I'm asking you to do. So know that everything I'm sharing here today is kicking my butt right along with you because of situations I have going on in my life. So my freedom is, I had some physical altercations occur back in February, and I'm still dealing with them. No, I'm still not dealing with them. Man. Especially when you don't know what it is. This is all brand new to me. I've never experienced hospital experiences. I've never experienced any of what has occurred since February. And so I am experiencing for the very first time anxiety attacks. Isn't it lovely? Anybody ever have one of those? Oh, my Lord. How do you guys deal with it? Well, I'm not there yet, but... So anyway, it's been real interesting. It's been a real challenge. Not to go in all the TMI information, however, adrenals, thyroids, women, you know what I'm talking about, all that stuff is kicking in and it controls the whole body. And so some mornings I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out of bed or not. I had a good week this week. I've had a great week this week. And standing up here, this is what energizes me, so thank you for this. I can show up and be here for that. But the biggest blessing in my life today is that man right there. He has... had to deal with a lot of stuff. So it's a trial and error. I mean, it really is like a guinea pig kind of thing. And so my not my challenge. Let me stop. My lesson. I love this. My chiropractor said that we call you a patient for a reason. Patient. Yeah. Okay. And then I go to my other doctor, and they say they call it practicing medicine for a reason. Oh, great. So I am the guinea pig. You know, you're not really sure what you're doing. No, but it seems to be working, so we're going to go this route right now. Okay, so you see, my freedom is not, I'm not feeling very free right now. And what I'm finding is that I am that little guinea pig or hamster on that wheel just going 90 to nothing. And it does not matter how many tools I know. They have gone right out the window. So in the beauty of all of this, guess what I've done? I've started all over again. Every workshop I've ever taken, my books are out on my bed. Every book I started reading when I got to Unity when I was so hungry, they are lined out by the nightstand. Anything that calls to me in that moment that will feed me spiritually and increase my faith is there to grab hold to in that moment, or my phone to call him and tell him to tell me to breathe. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of this is it's not just about me going through this by myself. Yes, I put it on Facebook because I'm an extrovert, guys, and I'm in the house by myself, isolating, spending too much time up here. We got a problem. And so I put it on Facebook. But the beauty of that was I am not alone. There are a lot of other people that are going through this stuff that I would never have known if I had not spoken out and said, look, I got this thing, I need some help. Now, there's some wackies out there, but, that comes with part of it. But for the most part, it's been great information. So as I delve deeper in what's going on for me and wanting to get centered, I meditate every morning, I meditate every night. That's a big practice of mine. I love doing walking meditations. I found this amazing labyrinth in South Lake. I walk once a week. I mean, I'm doing everything I know to do if I can get there. Sometimes I have to ask somebody to drive me there, but I can get there. But it's even deeper than that. What's the core thing that's going on that's causing all of this for me to show up? Now, it's not that, oh my God, it's not that, y'all hang with me here because I might get a little, I love unity. I do. I love the teachings of New Age. I love it. However, there's that part of me that still says I'm allowed to have emotions and feelings, and I've gone into churches where they say, oh, put the big girl panties on and get over it. Well, that's not where I am right now. And if I need to weep in a corner, allow me to weep in that corner. And so, yeah. So sometimes, New Age is beautiful, and I get the thought process. I need to have that positive, and Lynn has been beautiful about that. Oh, my God, what am I going to do? You're going to breathe first. And I need that. I understand it. But at the same time, we are still human beings having these emotions, and we need to be allowed to have those. And so there's that dance of understanding what's best for me, setting boundaries, as we've talked about before, and what it is I need to do to open myself up to heal in a way that I can be present for everybody else. I say part of this is, I'm calling it a metaphysical transformation. It is big because it means that I'm about to do something bigger. And I need to get through this to be bigger. So, anybody know who Julia Butterfly Hill is? Have you ever heard of her? No? She's an amazing woman that sat in 400 and something redwood trees for 748 days and refused to come down. And she saved the trees. And so, I mean, it was 2 years and something this woman sat in that tree, and, people are making fun of her and tearing her down and, doing whatever they do. But the trees were saved. She just came out with a new workshop she's doing called Courageous, and I signed up for it, and we started it it's online, it's for 9 weeks, and Julia, there's groups of us from all around the world that are doing this class together. But I got something big. And you guys probably already know this, but I mean, I heard it really big. She was talking about the butterfly concept, and when the butterfly goes and eats, and then in the cocoon, and then it gets mushy and gushy, and the last thing to go in that mush is the head. The head, which is the last thing we all have to deal with when we're going through our transformations. Those thoughts, those old behaviors, those old things that we deal with. The last thing that goes and melds into that mush is your head. So that's where I am. So my head's going soon. I know it is. Yeah. So I've been cocooning lately. So in order for me to transform to where I really want to be, there's a story here I want you to hear, because I love this story. It's going to make sense once I get through it, because it says what I want to say. It's one of those old Chinese mother-in-law stories. A long time ago in China, a girl named Li got married and went to live with her husband and mother-in-law. In a very short time, Li found that she couldn't get along with her mother-in-law at all. Go figure. Their personalities were very different, and Li was angered by many of her mother-in-law's habits. In addition, she criticized Li constantly. Days and weeks passed. Li and her mother-in-law never stopped arguing and fighting. But what made the situation even worse was that according to ancient Chinese tradition, Li had to bow to her mother-in-law and obey her every wish. All the anger and unhappiness in this house was causing Li's poor husband great distress. Finally, Li could not stand her mother-in-law's bad temper and dictatorship any longer, and she decided to do something about it. So Li went to see her father's good friend, Mr. How do I pronounce Huang. Thank you. Wong, right? Mr. Wong, who sold herbs. She told him the situation and asked if he would give her some poison so that she could solve the problem once and for all. Mr. Wong thought for a while and finally said, Lily, I will help. I will help you solve your problem, but you must listen to me and obey what I tell you. Lily said, yes, Mr. Wong, I'll do whatever you tell me to do, anything, anything. So Mr. Wong went into the back room and returned in a few minutes with a package of herbs. He told Lily, you can't use a quick-acting poison to get rid of your mother-in-law because that would cause people to become suspicious. Therefore, I have given you a number of herbs that will slowly build up the poison in her body. Every other day, prepare some delicious meal and put a little of these herbs in her serving. Now, in order to make sure that nobody suspects you when she dies, you must be very careful to act very friendly towards her. Don't argue with her, obey her every wish, and treat her like a queen. Lily was so happy. She thanked Mr. Wong and hurried home to start her plot of murdering her mother-in-law. Weeks and months went by, and every other day Lily served the special treated food to her mother-in-law. She remembered what Mr. Wong had said about avoiding suspicion, so she controlled her temper. She obeyed her mother-in-law, and she treated her like her own mother. After 6 months had passed, the whole household had changed. Lily had practiced controlling her temper so much that she found that she almost never got mad or upset. She hadn't had an argument with her mother-in-law in 6 months because she now seemed much kinder and easier to get along with. The mother-in-law's attitude toward Lily changed, and she began to love Lily like her own daughter. She kept telling friends and relatives that Lily was the best daughter-in-law one could ever find. Lily and her mother-in-law were now treating each other like a real mother and daughter. Lily's husband was very happy to see what was happening. So one day, Lily came to see Mr. Wong and asked for his help again. She said, Dear Mr. Wong, please help me keep the poison from killing my mother-in-law. She's changed into such a nice woman, and I love her like my own mother. I do not want her to die because of the poison I gave her. And Mr. Wong smiled and nodded his head. Lily, there's nothing to worry about. I never gave you any poison. The herbs I gave you were vitamins to improve her health. The only poison was in your mind and your attitude toward her. But that has all been washed away by the love which you gave to her. Have you realized that how you treat others is exactly how they will treat you? There is a wise Chinese saying, the person who loves others will also be loved in return. Good song. So, another part of that is God might be trying to work another person's life through you. So, in the freedom that we are asking for, where is the prison? Where is your prison? I'm not saying you have it. Where's my prison? Mine's in my head. As much as I try to be loving, kind, generous, and I really am, so I keep telling Lynn, this is not me. Who I am today, this is not me. He's going like, no, really, it's not me. Yeah. Well, for today it is. But knowing in my heart that it's not the true me, the truth of who I am, it ends up, becoming this vicious cycle for me because I so don't want this to be a part of me, even though it really kind of is. Instead of embracing it and loving it and being with it and flowing through it, I'm that little hamster on the wheel going. So it's real important, that we take an aspect and look at, what are my thoughts? Why am I showing up here the way I'm showing up here today? Why am I working at this, you hear it, why am I working at this job? Why do I still interact with these people? Why do I do these things that I say I don't normally want to do? So I have this friend that shared this story once, and I thought this was really, really poignant. One afternoon, he says, an official fellow showed up at his door and flashed an ID from the water department. He says, I just read your water meter, he told me, and I have to inform you that you have an unusually high usage this month. And the guy says, a high usage? He says, yes, sir, about 4 times the usual amount. 4 times? That's right, here are the numbers. I look at the numbers, he wasn't kidding. It's our policy to let you know about this in case you have any leaks in your water system. And the guy says, no leaks I knew of. Maybe my tenant has been taking a lot of showers, I wondered, but 80,000 gallons of showers? Nope, he doesn't even wash his dishes. So I thanked the waterman, and I told him I'd try to conserve this month and hope the bill would come down next month. So a few days later, he goes out and he sits out on his back porch, and when he noticed there was a puddle in the corner of the yard. That puddle had been there for a while, but he had figured it was due to some heavy rain they'd had a few days before, but the rest of the lawn had dried up, but the puddle was still there. So he went and poked his hand in the puddle. There was a pipe beneath it, and in it was a leak. He says, I can tell you exactly how much it was leaking, 80,000 gallons a month. Where are you losing energy in the form of joy, health, money, or love? Somewhere in us, there's a leaky system. There's no malevolent parasite that has invaded our world and is undermining us. Our leak is on our property, and as such, we have access to repair it. Right? So the question is not, well, we don't really talk about, is there life after death? The question is there life before death? Right? So to answer this for yourself and live it, you must quit doing things that deplete your energy and start doing things that expand it. The reason I'm emphasizing this, you guys, is I am physically where I am because I chose to have a major leak in my life and I didn't know what was going on. So I worked for this position. I just resigned after 8.5 years. I spoke to teenagers in the high schools on prevention of child abuse. Now that means writing CPS reports every time a teenager comes to me and tells me they're being abused. That could be 6 CPS reports in the first period class, and I still have to teach 6 more classes after that. Make sure their needs are taken care of and so forth. This, as long as this program's been out in the community, the longest a person has lasted is 1.5 years, and I've been doing it for 8.5. Yeah, major leak. Thank you for major leak. Well, and what happened was, and I know, of course, today is that I probably could have let go of it a year ago, and chose to continue because I loved the kids. That's where my passion was. God, when you see their faces light up and you see the change in their demeanor and their kids coming to me saying, now I really want to be a parent. I didn't want to before, but now I do. That was my passion. But the rest of the non-support and everything else I had to deal with was the one where the leak was. So you gotta just kind of take a look at where those leaks are. So I love this piece right here. It says, so, again, I'm going to say, live it. You must quit doing things that deplete your energy and start doing things that expand it. Moses delivered 10 commandments that point out how to accomplish this. But, A, nobody wants to be commanded. B, Charlton Heston's makeup was so bad, it undermined Moses' credibility. And C, nobody has enough patience on the internet to wait for 10 commandments to download. Right. So here's everything you need to know to relocate from what we're calling Suckville. Kind of Suckville. Do what brings you life. Do not do what deadens you. There it is. We're done. No, I'm not. Kind of. So, do what brings you life. Do not do what deadens you. The reason you are not where you want to be is that you are doing things you do not want to do. Can anybody relate to that? You don't have to point. I'm just saying. Just saying. It does not make you wrong, bad, indifferent. It makes you human, right? And do we beat ourselves up even more because now I should know this already because I've been doing this for years and oh my God, I should have done this. But stop. Get off of that hamster thingy wheel with me. It's not fun anymore. So if it sounds that simple, it is. One of the most popular tricks of power and control freaks is to hide in complexity. Only control freaks would understand that. Okay. You want me to say it again? I love it. Wait a minute. I'm writing this down now. One of the most popular tricks of power and control freaks is to hide in complexity. But the best answer to a problem is usually the simplest. See, I want to tear it apart. I need to know why I'm feeling the way I am. Well, nobody can tell me. Well, what? Then why do you call yourself a doctor? Jeez. Sure, there are some things you have to do that you don't want to do, but not as many as you are doing, right? Give yourself a break. And I know for some of us it doesn't feel that way in the moment. I get that. If you took the energy you are wasting on things that suck and used it for things you love, what would you be doing differently? Simple. Make a list. Just see. When you invest your time and energy in stuff that drags you down, you die a little bit every day. Yes? Was that an amen? I heard an amen. Yeah. Then your life force reduces to a dribble and you croak. I'm just trying to put it in layman's terms that I can understand. And a little humor. Yet the Bible documents people who live for hundreds of years, and there are people in remote regions today, as we know, who are living far past 100. Their lives are simpler, and they do not fritter away their life force watching people hit each other over the head with chairs on Jerry Springer. They just live close to nature, they eat yogurt, and develop meaningful relationships with llamas. So open your heart to a critter who won't dump you on national television, and you will live long enough to get a birthday card from the president. While you may be very careful about what you pay for with your money, you are probably less careful about what you pay for with your attention. Okay? And I hear it constantly, you know, all the money in the world couldn't give me back my whatever. So what is your attention focused on? In the long run, how you spend your attention affects your life far more profoundly than how you spend your money. This is huge for me. I don't know, most of you, some of you know this, but by the way, Harmony Fellowship, thank you so much. I just ended my last class, my 9-week class here for E Squared. And I thank you for that opportunity. It was pretty amazing. We had a good group of people in here. And the biggest thing was how do you focus your attention, where you focus it, and what kind of energy you want to put into what. And so your attention is the strongest currency at your disposal, energy-wise and otherwise. If you squander it, your life will result in one big overdraft. If you invest it in things you value, you will collect interest big time and be interesting along the way. Everything you do is an investment in more of the same. So what are you focusing on the most right now? Sadly, for me, sometimes it's about what's going on in my body. And if I'm focusing on the uncomfortableness of this, what am I going to get more of? Yeah, my support system. More uncomfortableness. Yeah. I know, right? It sucks. So daily, that practice now is, okay, all right, this is where I am. Oops, remember who you are. Okay, breathe again. Okay. Oh, that thought's there again. Oops, remember who you are. I mean, it's baby steps for, no matter how long, it's a process. And I don't know about you, but for me, sometimes I go to sleep again. Temporarily, it doesn't last as long, and I don't stay there as long, and I don't do it as often, but sometimes I forget yet again. And that's when we need the support system. And that's when we need those that will support you going through something, that want to see you succeed. This is my mantra is surround yourself with people that celebrate you, not tolerate you. That's my that's my mantra. I know, right? I mean, why tolerate me? What are you talking about? I'm tolerating you. No. It really is important, and I learned that a long time ago. I need to surround myself with people that want to see me succeed even more than I want to, because when I get to that point, I can't remember. They need to help me. So surround yourself with people that celebrate you. They want to be on your team. They want to be a part of what you want to become. They're not jealous, envious, lazy, bored, the emotional vampire type people that want to just suck you dry. You need to surround yourself with those people that really, really care about you. And that's what's so important about community, as you all well know. So again, everything you do is an investment and more of the same. The illusion is that if you do something you don't like long enough, it will go away. But the truth is that more you get involved in something, the more involvement it leads to. Ever own a boat? Anybody ever own a boat? Well, good. Yeah, yeah. Or I guess ever own a swimming pool, right? If you I say swimming pool in the next day. If you truly enjoy something, dive in. No pun intended. If not, have the guts to walk away from what doesn't serve you. That's the big one. And if we really believe in what unity teaches and the new thought teaches by God, we should be walking this talk every day. I had this lady tell me the other day, she goes, I love working with these two different kinds of people. The ones I love the most are the ones that don't know it yet. They're not dumb, they're still naive. The ones I can't stand working with is the know-it-alls. And she said, and you're one of those. And I'm going like, oh, great. But I'll work with you anyway. So I have all this head knowledge that I can tell you all day long what it is that you can do. And then I go home to my house going like, why am I so miserable? So, again, I have to remember to walk my talk and speak my truth and be as authentic as I can be. I'm going to say it again. If not, have the guts to walk away from what doesn't serve you. There is no redeeming value in misery unless you do timeshare presentations. I hope nobody does that. Please don't take that personally if you do. I've been to timeshare presentations. So what it boils down to, you guys, that freedom that we long for, that freedom is that open heart. It is that heart opening up and allowing that love in that we so long for and so need in this amazing community of life. You know, as I go through this process, the only thing I can share is mine. I'm an extrovert. I feed off of people. I'm at home alone every day in the darkness of my house with my cat. How good is that? Not too good. So it's about interacting. I did get a call. This was pretty amazing. The first time, I've been going to one church for almost 30 years now. I've gotten more calls in the last week to check on me than I have in the 30 years I've been there. I mean, it's pretty cool. You know, but these people are calling and say, can you drive to your chiropractor's appointment? Not today. Let me come get you. That's kind of uncomfortable, but okay, I'll let you. You know, are you up to eating afterwards? I need to eat. Okay, well, let's go get some. Or they call and go, can I come? But no, I need a nap now. Man, I really can't. I would love you to be here, but kind of thing. So I'm learning how to ask for help. I'm allowing others who really want to give and have that opportunity to meet more people that I would never allow myself to meet otherwise. I just come in on church on Sunday and hug them and say, yeah, I love you, and we're all one, and then I, go do my thing. I mean it. I mean it. You know I mean it. I do. I do love you. But I want deeper. I don't want the surface stuff anymore. I want deeper. I keep reading as you get older, it's harder and harder to, women, get ready. We're the ones that are having to entertain each other since the guys are going away or dying or doing whatever. Eventually it's us, and we are the ones that communicate and hang together. Well, if we let that slide, it's going to get away from us, and that heart of love that we really, really long to give and that interconnection and contact slips away. How many of y'all used to love to play games on a Friday night and have friends over? I don't know. I'm a game player, man. Man, in my previous life, every Friday, everybody was at our house. Today, not so much. I played my first game of backgammon about 3 weeks ago. A friend came over to sit with me, and she beat me every game, so I said I had to take a nap, so we just... I love games. And I just don't get to play games like I used to. So Len and I drove to a family reunion yesterday, and we played the White Elephant gift exchange. I mean, you'd think I was healed and in the middle of all of it, man, because it was great. So I need more of those things. Anyway, the hell you worry about going to, as we've been taught, the hell you're worried about going to is not nearly as bad as the fear of it that drives you to do things to alienate your spirit. If you live from fear, you are already in hell. If you live from love, you then get to create the meeting point of heaven on earth. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here today.